Too many men give way too many fucks about what other people think, what their family thinks, and what society thinks. And because of that, you're constantly hitting this invisible wall that holds you back from achieving more. Whether it's in dating or your career, it's going to limit the most important areas of your life. And as a dating coach, this is something that I really had to overcome myself. Because yeah, teaching and showing how to pick up women is unconventional. I literally wouldn't be able to do this job if I gave too many fucks about what other people think. But I wanted to push this not give a fuck mindset to the extreme, especially because I used to be someone who cared way too much about what people thought of me. I've always been too focused on how I was perceived, very careful not to dress too weirdly, and making sure not to draw unnecessary attention. But when you give too many fucks, you end up dancing to the exact tune society wrote for you. You know, you'll never say anything more exciting to a woman than, "So, what do you do for work?" Or, "What are your hobbies?" And you definitely won't talk to that hot girl out in public, and you sure as hell won't let loose and fully be yourself on a date. And this carefulness, this giving too many fucks, well, that makes you inefficient in most areas of your life. You won't be asking for that promotion, you won't make that career switch, and you won't move out of that shitty hometown that you've honestly already outgrown 5 years ago. So, how did I break free from this, and how can you? It all starts with realizing that the only part of you that gives a fuck is your ego. Your ego wants people to think that other people care as much about you as you care about you, but they don't. And this is the very reason why some people won't leave their house until their hair is flawlessly perfect. As if anyone gives that much of a fuck about your hair. So, what kills our ego and its illusions? Reality. And the reality is that you need to be humbled, because your ego is anything but humble. And let me tell you, I've had plenty of disgustingly humiliating experiences, but here's the beauty of it. You'll start to see that no one actually gives a fuck. I used to be shit embarrassed when I was a sales rep at COS, which is kind of like H&M, and my crush walked in and she saw me folding these pants that other people had tossed around. Or when I was cleaning tables at Le Pain Quotidien, a glorified breakfast place. Or when I was so broke that I rented a garage box for $100 per month and I slept in it. And that also meant that if I met girls and I wanted to take them home, I had to take them to my garage box. But probably the most embarrassing thing that I can admit here is that when I decided to become good at this game, my wingman and I, we would go day gaming. And whenever someone pussied out an approach, we would line up in a row in the middle of the busiest shopping street, and we would do synchronized push-ups while holding everyone up, and we would be screaming, "Alpha, Beast, Approach Machine." May I add that this was like 15 years ago and I don't want to talk about it anymore. And yet, life went on, and here we are today. Literally, nobody cares as much as you do. Or did. So why does it feel so intense then? Well, because you give 100 times more fucks about what you do than about what other people do. And I realized this when I was shooting one of our old school viral videos, picking up girls with a cock block. Here's the concept. I walk up to a girl and I start a conversation, and then TextGod coach Dan would walk in and he would sabotage the interaction. And of course, all the girls are like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Hi, hey. Hi. It's my friend Louis. He's a really good guy, he's friendly, he's healthy, and very charming when he's not cheating on his girlfriend.
Nice friend. You have a good friend. Nice guy.
Threesome?
Everything you want. Everything you want. All for you. All inclusive.
I'll consider it.
But you know what stood out to us? After each awkward cockblock situation, the women didn't give a single fuck about me. They were just thinking about themselves. Usually they would immediately text someone or start laughing or talking to each other like, "Yo, you won't believe what just happened to us." Even in the most embarrassing situation, people project everything back to themselves. Ego is like a law of nature. And that is a liberating realization. But let's be real, watching videos doesn't help. You can watch 1,000 videos just like this one, and you can hear me say, "Nobody gives a fuck, and so neither should you," but that doesn't change anything. So how do you actually become the type of guy who starts a business, wears the outfits he really likes, moves to a new city, talks to that girl, speaks up, take risks? You become this guy step by step. So if you're ready, let me give you 4 exercises to stop giving a fuck. And we start small with exercise number 1, which is the small screw up. This is where you ask directions to a place, let's say Starbucks, even though you're right in front of the place. Hey, do you know where Starbucks is? And then she points it out and they're like, oh, it's right here. Wow, that was awkward. Thanks. Great. Have a nice day. And then watch how little people care. Then we go on to exercise number 2, which is the compliment. It's literally just complimenting a stranger. No conversation, no follow-up, nothing to gain, just a simple, sincere compliment. Once you've done this, you move to exercise number 3. This one's very scary to a lot of people, but I just want you to sit down in public. Sit down on the street, in a busy place. Just for 1 minute, or even lie down if you want to make it more extreme. It looks crazy, it will feel very uncomfortable. Trust the guy who did the Alpha Beast approach machine push-ups. It works. And that brings us to exercise number 4, stare inside. One of our coaches actually did this once. He walked up to the window of a restaurant and then he would place his hands on the glass and just stare inside for like a full minute. Obviously it looked completely retarded, but after 30 seconds he stopped giving a fuck. Then he walked up to a beautiful girl walking past and he said, hey, I just did the weirdest social challenge ever, and now I wanted to come say hi to you. This girl actually became his girlfriend. How epic is that? You could see your ego as a cage, and all of these exercises are ego softeners, because the harder your ego is, the smaller the box that you live in. And people with big egos, they play it safe. They play within the lines. They stick to a normal job, a normal life, and they get normal results. And there's nothing wrong with normal if that is what you genuinely want. Seriously, by all means, I'm here for it. A basic life is better than ever nowadays. But if you want more, if you want to grow and evolve and break free, then your ego, that little voice saying, but what if they think I'm weird? Well, that's your biggest enemy. When I started talking to women, my ego was already in 1,000 pieces. Why? Because it was very clear to me that I was terrible at this. I had no dates for years. I was a virgin till right before 23. And I was honestly one of those weird kids that was sort of an outcast. I was doing so poorly that I thought, screw it, someone just show me how this works. Teach me. My ego had failed, and so I learned to ditch it. And that is a big advantage, because a lot of guys who have occasional success, they think, well, I don't really need help, right? A dating course, I don't need that shit. But that is just your ego talk. If you're getting laid once every 3 months, but secretly you're wishing you had more control, but you're not doing anything about it, well, that's pretty lame if you'd ask me. And again, if you're genuinely happy with that pace, cool, carry on. But most men, they want a little bit more for themselves, especially if you're watching videos like mine. Ready for a breakthrough? Does the content of this video speak to you? Do you want to experience what it feels like to care less and do more? Well, then do hop on a call with us, because honestly, our trainings are probably the most ego-breaking, freeing, I don't give a fuck things that you'll ever have done. And luckily for you, I got a slot with your name on it. Thank you for watching this video. Big smooch.